The Warner Brothers deal is getting ugly for everyone. Netflix stock is down 20% as investors think they're in over their heads. President Trump has seemingly pulled support for Paramount Skydance, meaning regulators are ready to slice and dice. Disney's VPs are done playing nice in the battle for the next CEO, though the dinosaur media isn't paying much attention to any of this. We're ready to explain. Hollywood is officially in chaos. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a PhD level of understanding every single day into the way that Hollyweird really works. Explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do because our stories really do matter. Our heroes, our mythos, the things we pay attention to for fun. Folks, we're not done covering them. Hollywood, though, not having a great time today. The mainstream, lamestream, dinosaur, going extinct media refusing largely to report this stuff. And we're just so sad for them that we're bringing the receipts. Folks, click the like button, drop a comment down below, let us know your thoughts on all of this, and if you see the hype, it's a ripe time to hit the hype. All right, from Charlie Gasparino, one of the best in the biz when it comes to this kind of stuff. Breaking. As reported by the New York Post yesterday, Warner Brothers could file as early as today its rationale explaining why shareholders should reject the latest hostile Paramount Skydance offer for the big media company and instead side with Netflix. Oh my! Why? Why would they tell their shareholders to side with Netflix, ladies and gentlemen? Why would they tell them to refuse Paramount's offer when Paramount's offer is better? How could that be? How can that possibly fit into their fiduciary responsibility? Well, folks, because they've misplayed their hand. Because they didn't understand the cards on the table. Because I believe Warner Brothers leadership, David Zaslav, they believed that Paramount would then come back with a better, bigger offer. But everybody is having sour grapes now over Warner Brothers. Nobody's having fun, and it could all blow up in the face of David Zaslav and the setting sun for his meteoric negotiations of Warner Brothers. Netflix down about 22% over the past 6 months. And look where it started falling, folks. Late October, as they began pondering, remember it was November, they met with Trump to see, could they get past the regulations? Could they convince him? Could they schmooze the orange man? That was in November. It's been dropping ever since. Investors don't seem keen on Warner Brothers. Guess what? Some others are dropping out too. Jared Kushner is done. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But why is Jared Kushner pulling out of the Paramount Skydance deal? Well, out of variety, President Donald Trump rebukes the idea that he's friends with Paramount Skydance chief David Ellison and his father, Larry Ellison, claiming that CBS's 60 Minutes has treated him far worse since they acquired Paramount. If they are friends, I'd hate to see my enemies. This is a huge political hip check. This is a huge pushback. This is a moment when Trump is saying to them, you want that? You want to buy that? You wanted me to be friends with you and get this through for you? Screw you, essentially. And they can either kiss the ring or they cannot. Now, I'm not here to tell you that's good, bad, or ugly for President Trump. You all already have your minds made up about President Trump, and this is the highest IQ audience on the internet. So I'm not going to try to win you over to one side or the other there. I'm just going to tell you that's what's happening. They can either do what he wants or they're out in the cold. And what does that do? Well, it tells the shareholders, Netflix might actually be able to clear this easier. What? Kushner also pulling out. Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of President Trump, who was backing Paramount, simultaneously pulls out. What's that all about? Folks, it's all about saying that there's going to be negotiations not only financially, but in the direction of the company if Paramount Skydance wants to have a bite of it. Out of CNBC, Kushner's Affinity Partners exits Paramount's bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. This article, I'll just give you the rundown on it. It's out of CNBC. I highly recommend you go read it. Also, go read Charlie Gasparino. And if you want to know what's going on in Hollywood, read all of this. We're going to get to Disney in just a second. Hang tight, folks. Jared Kushner, about $1 billion is being pulled. Now, that's out of what? More than $100 billion on the table. So this is not going to financially change this at all. But what it does do is it says, hey, the Trump machine is not attached to this any longer. It's another warning sign to shareholders. Maybe you should go to Netflix. And that, I believe, is an attempt to get leverage with the Ellisons, Trump and his family and his political machinery. They want to have leverage to see a preferred outcome in whatever happens with Warner Brothers and CNN when it's purchased. And so they're doing the things that they do in politics, right? The sausage is being made. But here's why things are not going the way that Hollywood wants at all. Back to Charlie Gasparino of the New York Post. This is so amazing. Why Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders should not count on a holiday bidding war, because all of this has blown up in the face, again, of David Zaslav. Now, he's done a great job of raising the price for Warner Brothers to ridiculous levels. However, that is now leveled off in a way that I don't think he was thinking about. And what you've got to consider right now is that if Skydance Paramount is done playing, and we're going to talk about that right now, but if they're done playing and Netflix is no longer having a good time, then what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? It means that nobody's happy about this Warner Brothers deal anymore. And nobody at Hollywood's happy about the idea of Netflix owning it. And Netflix might not be happy about owning it anymore, but they're stuck with it because guess what? Everybody thought Paramount Skydance was going to get it. And now Paramount Skydance is like, ew, we're not raising the price anymore. So if you want it, you have it. It's a giant poker table, eh? Paramount Skydance has no immediate plans. This is from Charlie Gasparino. This is a change, big change right here. Paramount Skydance has no immediate plans to sweeten its $30 a share, all cash bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Instead, continuing to make its case to shareholders that its $78 billion offer is superior to the company's current deal with streaming giant Netflix. And why? Probably because President Trump has pulled support, at least seemingly so for now. Kushner's out. Regulations may be tough. The seas are choppy now, my friends. What does that mean? Well, it means they don't want to keep going higher and higher. They don't want to do that anymore. And that means David Zaslav, who thought siding with Netflix probably would lead to Paramount going even higher and higher and higher and higher. Be the buyer, please. Buy us for ridiculous, ludicrous amounts of money. Not going to happen. And Netflix cannot be happy about any of this, again, because their stock has dropped 22% by buying this darn thing, or appearing to. What happens if they actually have to? What happens if Netflix tries to do this and gets hosed by the regulators in all of this? Hollywood is in chaos. And again, the celebrities don't want Netflix to own Warner Brothers because they know it's the end of the theaters. So much is at stake here. And everybody is negotiating in different ways at the table. Can I tell you something, though? It's not just Netflix in peril. It's not just Warner Brothers. It's not just Paramount Skydance. It's Disney, too. The knives have finally come out. The strife has hit the VP contest for CEO. Take a look at this, out of thatparkplace.com. Dana Walden doesn't appreciate being pit against my colleagues in Disney CEO race. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Bob. You know what this is about? Dana Walden's one of the two now candidates to be the next CEO of the Disney company, along with Josh D'Amaro. And everybody knows it's her versus him versus her. She doesn't like that anymore. Why does she not like that anymore? Well, probably because she's not going to be the next CEO. Otherwise, why would you say this? It's victory lap time, right? I'm going to get this announcement soon. So Dana no longer likes having been pit against her colleagues. And the play there is going to be, I believe, that when she's not CEO, Dana Walden can say, because I'm a woman, I did not receive what I was owed. Look out, Disney. It could get ugly. As the race to replace Bob Iger intensifies, speculation about Dana Walden becoming Disney's CEO is no longer confined to industry whispers. Walden herself has now gone on the record offering pointed comments that demonstrate just how fraught the Disney succession process has become. What does she say? Let's see what it says. She was on the circuit with Emily Chang, and here's what it says. Asked about being considered a leading contender to replace Iger, a.k.a. one of two. Walden made clear she is uncomfortable with the way the process has unfolded. Now, if you are a savvy businesswoman about to take over this company, and Bob Iger is going to hand it over to you within months, do you say this? Do you handle it this way? No way. Listen, smiles abound for those who are about to wear the crown. Her quote, well, being pit against my colleagues, I don't appreciate because we have incredible relationships. We are a very tight organization, Walden said. Now, folks, you could read that. And perhaps, I know this is not you. This is the drive-by journalist. They're very unsavvy. The unsavvy among us could read that and not understand what she's up to. But I do. And you do. Because you don't get to this level ever without having been pit against people forever. I mean it. Ever since this woman was in high school and in college, she has been taking down her competition. She must. It's the only way to rise to this level inside corporate America. And she's done so, both in Fox and at Disney. She has risen to the top. She has defeated everybody to get to this place. She has no problem acing everything and winning. This is the answer, I believe, of someone who is no longer winning. The article says on its face, the comment appears conciliatory, but it also tacitly confirms that Disney's internal succession planning has become a public spectacle, one that places its senior executives in direct comparison rather than projecting stability or confidence. Walden emphasized her belief in Disney's direction and leadership bench, describing the company as having a world-class team navigating its future. Still, the very need to say so raises questions about how united Disney's upper ranks truly are as Iger's long tenure finally winds down. Josh D'Amaro looking more and more every day like the next CEO of Disney. Will Dana Walden go? Will she stay? She has a terrible track record when it comes to the streaming numbers and to ABC and linear TV, so she can't be CEO. The Wall Street types don't want her there. Bob Iger would love her there. But folks, bottom line here this morning, on this happy hump day morning, the bottom line, all the big Hollywood companies right now are in full-blown chaos. They don't want you to know that. They're covering every other story they possibly can. They're focused. They're hyper-focused on anything else. Please don't look at us. Please. Movie theaters are struggling. Box office failures abound in the last year. Streaming not where it needs to be. Netflix suddenly saying, oh my gosh, what did we just buy? It's a lemon. Our investors hate it. Paramount losing out, losing the blessing of the Orange Man. Disney with executives now saying, we don't like the way this was handled. Even before the torch, the candle's been passed to the next person. Look out, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to get very hot in 2026, and part of that reason is because of the constricting of the market when it comes to entertainment. Not a constriction in what people are doing and watching and having fun with. That's not the case. But they've ran away to other forms of entertainment where they don't have to put up with the types of the Holly weirds. They've gone to short form stuff. They've gone to YouTube. They've gone other places. They're done with you, Holly weird. And thus, as the pizza shrinks, as the cake gets smaller, the slices also on the brink of being too small for these kinds of folks. And now it's time for them to call it out and say, I don't like this anymore, darn it. I don't like it. Folks, that's the video for this morning. We're so happy you came here. Do you understand what's happening in Hollywood now? If you do, click the like button, drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on all of this. And by the way, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the time of year to shine those lights in the darkness and remember that there's a reason to continue doing what you do for good in this world. Even if the commentator class has gone crazy, even if Hollywood is so lazy that they're going to watch their entire industry go down, even as you wonder, when will things get fixed? You're just the kind of person to get to it. You can change the world. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.